server after installation is done, startup, login, shutdown. And it is very much common that many times you would be facing an issue of startup. Okay, so when you face startup issue, you just need to go for a workaround. Okay, the workaround or shutdown issues also will face. The workaround is to delete the Kafka data folder. That is only up to our version, home version. Okay, so if you follow that, definitely it will be started successfully. There should not be any problems. You may have to repeatedly do it multiple times if the issue is there. So every time you have issue, follow this process. Okay, there is no problem at all. Okay, following that. And I was explaining about application. So using Pega rules process commander, we are going to develop applications. So where we are not going to use any coding. So no coding. So where we were discussing about application and just a high level functional explanation I was giving, that is application is set of functionalities. So there will be a number of functional components in an application. All these functional components are going to work together in order to process the business transactions. We gave an example in the last class about the same. That is, Amazon application will have product display functionality, search functionality, search results functionality, cart functionality, checkout functionality, payment gateway, and further payments and confirmation. These are different functionalities. All are going to be available in single transaction model. And apart from this, account registration functionality, address update functionality, these are related to some different module. Okay, this is a separate module within same application. So account registration is something different. Now, like this, in any business application, we are going to develop business functionalities. What happened? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let me start recording. Thank you for reminding. Yeah, you need to unmute.
This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you. So last session we were discussing about application. Application is set of functionalities. Okay. So multiple different functionalities works together in order to process the business. So definitely you are going to use PRPC to develop business applications where you are going to work on user interface functionalities, business logic related functionalities, and database related functionalities. Maybe storing the data or updating the data or generating reports. There are different things. But to do all of this, UI, no HTML, no CSS coding, business logic, no Java coding, database, no queries have to be written. Without doing any coding, you will be developing and you will be working on all these three modules, including reporting also in Pega. Okay, that is one advantage for a developer. No need to have any technical knowledge about any technology. We'll be teaching the basics and all. And next we are going to talk about whenever you are going to design to set up your business as a software application. See, what are we going to do? The reality, what is happening? In the reality, you might be processing your business maybe in a manual process. Okay. So we used to go to, let's say, for example, you take DMart. We go to DMart and search for the products, add the products into basket, and go to the billing counter and pay the bill. The same manual process we have turned into digitalization. In that case, you are going to get a digital application developed by using some technologies. That's what we are calling online shopping application. Okay, e-commerce application. So everything that you do, that you used to do in a business, you want to turn it into a digital product using some technologies. That's what called as your application. See, whenever we are going to set up any business, we need to have a strong foundation being set up. Okay. What is meant by strong foundation? To have strong foundation of your business application using a technology. Let me tell you. See, generally the perspective of a business person should be like, so today, as much as possible, tomorrow. Tomorrow in the sense, future. So you need to think about future also. All the time, it is not only today's market. You need to think about, up to some extent, future, how it is going to be. In future, your business may change. The market may change. As per the market, your business have to be turned. You may expand the business in future, okay, into different maybe countries or different places. See, today the application that you create should be easily enhanceable, okay, into future market. Okay, come forward. So in future, if there are any changes in the market, that changes have to be achieved easily by using your today's application. And tomorrow, if you're going to enhance your business, expand your business, okay, then your application should support new enhancements. So there are multiple things like this to consider. Considering the factors like this, whenever you are going to set up your business application, you are going to create an architectural design to have framework and implementations. What are those? Let's say implementation. So your application that you are going to create for your business is going to have framework and implementation layers. You can say layers. These are also applications only. I'll tell you, okay, in detail. What is the advantage and all you are going to learn today itself. Okay. See, anytime when you are going to develop a business application, obviously you need to create one application. There is no doubt about it. Okay. But here we are talking about two application setup. So what are we talking about? Two applications. For even though it is one single business, we are going to create two applications for a single business. Okay. What are those two applications by types? Or you say structure. Those are framework and implementation. So it is a good practice. It is not mandatory. So if I say create an application, you go and create framework plus implementation. That is a best practice. You create only implementation, your business will run. That is not going to be a best practice. Considering the reason, you will not be able to easily enhance your application. You will not be able to easily enhance. Means future enhancements will be difficult. You are going to understand how it is going to be like that. Okay. So given a requirement, if you are creating a business application for a single business, still you are going to create minimum two applications. What are those applications? Framework and implementation applications. That is what you are going to do. Okay. So creating framework and implementation application. How to create, I'll be teaching you in some time. But what is framework application and what is an implementation application? Generally, we need to understand. So let me tell you one concept called, a general term called LOB. This is what you're going to use regularly in your enterprise application development. If you join a project, mostly they will use this term called line of business. What is this? Line of business. So far, everyone clear? Whoever is joined online. Are you clear, every one of you, so far? I did not give any explanation. Just I was making a statement that, so given you have to create one business application, you need to go for minimum two as a best practice. What are those two application types? Framework application, implementation application. We are now going to see in detail. Before that, there is one terminology called line of business. I'll tell you what is meant by line of business in general. Okay. Let's take an example of just insurance. What is the example? Insurance as a whole organization, company. Okay. There is one insurance company. What are the different businesses that they are going to perform? Okay. They are going to do. See here, there may be, okay, health insurance. Okay. And what else can be there? Life insurance. What else can be there? Auto insurance. Okay. Home insurance. Like this, there can be a number like this. It depends. These are very well known to us. See, insurance here is a core business. Insurance is what? Core business. In that, there are some specific business types. What are those? Health insurance, life insurance, auto insurance, and home insurance. So this is one stream of the business. This is another stream, stream 3, stream 4. All these will come under one particular core business called as insurance. So these streams we are calling it as LOB. What do you call these streams? LOB, line of a business, means one specific line. How many lines are there here in insurance business? 4 lines are there. Out of these 4 lines, core insurance and out of these 4 lines, health insurance is one LOB, life insurance is second LOB, auto insurance is third one, and home insurance is fourth. This is a generic term that one should be aware of. Okay, maybe it is not only related to Pega. It is very generic. If you are working on any technology, this is very common. So this particular line of business, whatever you have, can be called as one specific implementation. And the core business can be called as framework. What is the core business? Framework. Suppose this insurance is part of your another application called banking. It's a bank. Bank provides insurance. Let's say, for example, inside bank, what will be there? Banking. Okay, banking operations will be there, and loans operation will be there. Banking means general bank account opening, money transactions, deposits, withdraw, third party transfer, check processing, all that. And loans and insurance is going to be part of that. Okay, now these are LOBs. Insurance is a framework. Okay, again it has sub LOBs. It is possible to have tree structure from top to bottom being designed. Understand, everyone? So LOB is a specific line of business. Okay, and there will be a core business above it. Okay, and the core business is called as framework, and different LOBs can be called as implementations. Understand, everyone? Clear? So framework is your entire business may be related to one sector or may be common to different sectors. Suppose you take banking is a core framework. Okay, within that there can be another frameworks also. That is possible. A framework can have multiple frameworks. For example, you take banking as a framework. Okay, that is very bottom core level, and it can have another frameworks also. Let's say personal banking alone is one framework, corporate banking is one framework. Within corporate banking there can be a number of lines of business, and within personal banking there can be a number of personal banking. Okay, personal accounts, okay, personal credit cards, personal loans, like this personal. And corporate means corporate accounts, okay, corporate whatever the cards and all, corporate loans, corporate insurance. This is again another stream. So like this, there can be n number of different frameworks possible. There can be n number of different implementations possible. But we are going to discuss about only one framework as of now. Framework means you need to understand framework as a core business. What is that? It's a core business. And implementation is specific line of business where the respective business transactional operations are going to be initiated. Suppose if you want health insurance transactions will be initiated here. If you want life insurance transactions can be initiated here. Auto insurance here and home insurance here. This is how one implementation is one specific line of business where your transactions will get initiated and generally processed. Okay, that is what you are going to create implementation. Implementation can have sub-transaction models. That is a different thing. So framework is the one where it is going to have core components. Okay, so what does a framework application contains? Okay, you create an application. One is framework, another one is implementation you are creating. Framework application contains common functionalities which are needed for different implementations. What does it contains? Common functionalities which are needed for different implementations. Implementation contains its own specific functionalities. Implementation contains its own specific functionalities. For example, health insurance, there can be a functional component of UI. Let's say health coverages. What is that? Health coverages. There is one screen which is displaying all the coverages related to health. Suppose if you are taking health insurance, it will be covered under so and so list of diseases. Okay, so chronic diseases cannot be covered, maybe something like that. Okay, some related user interface functional component I'm talking about. Health coverages is very specific. What is it? Health coverages is very specific to only health insurance. Okay, I don't need to bother about covering a health issue when it comes to life insurance. Life insurance is related to the risk factor of a person's life. Okay, there is any risk factor related to life, then that will be covered. Okay, you are getting fever, admitted hospital 24 hours, will not be covered. That will come under health insurance. Auto insurance is going to cover the related things, maybe vehicles and all. Okay, vehicle damage. Okay, something like this will be covered. Home insurance, house related. Okay, it may be like uh, some renovation works are going on, we need something to be covered. Okay, like that, because it is been damaged since long back, we are paying the premiums and all. Okay, so coverage, if you take coverages here, the coverages are very specific, it is not common. Coverage is very specific to each line of business. Tell me some functional component which is very common for all of these four. For example, any person who is going to visit the insurance company to take any one of these insurance policies, anyone, all of them mandatorily have to provide their personal details, common data, right? Some person wants health insurance, he has to submit his details, first name, last name, address, ID number, okay, KYC details. Everyone has to submit all that, correct? Any insurance, irrespective of line of business. There will be, this is one example. Like this, there can be a number of common functional components which are needed across different LOBs. These functional components we would be placing in the insurance core insurance framework, customer details. So whenever we create a business application, we will be creating two different applications by structure. One is framework and the second one is implementation. Why are you creating two? Sorry, what do you want to place? What type of functionalities you wanted to place in these two specific these two different applications? Common features which are needed among different implementations. Common features we are going to place into framework, and very specific features that are related to only one line of business. Where are we going to place? We are going to place into implementation. This is the first point to understand. What type of functionalities to be created in which type of application? Common functionalities. Where do we create? Framework application. Specific functionalities. Where do you create? Implementation. Given a business requirement, how do I know whether it is common functionality or specific functionality? For this, one should know about the business model. One should know about the real business. So it is not only the technology you are going to learn, you will become an expert in application development, but also one should be aware of the real business. So you know about the business up to some extent. Okay, you need to have a clear cut idea about, okay, what is this entire business overall. So what is a core business, and what are specific lines of business in this particular entire business model. Then given a requirement, read the requirement, understand to know about where does it fit. Okay, if you find it is a common functionality, then where would you place it? Framework. If you find it is a specific to one related to one line of business, then where would you place it? Implementation. Then business people, are they not going to tell you about place it in framework or implementation? Frankly speaking, they don't know about anything like this. They don't know what is framework, they don't know what is implementation. They will speak in business terminology, they don't speak technical terminology. Business will say everything in business terminology, developer should have to convert into technical terminology, okay, to understand. And business you understand, convert it technically and apply at the respective places. So this is what we are going to create in framework as well as implementation application. If I say framework, What type of functionalities will come under framework? Common functionality. If we say implementation, what type of functionalities? Specific function. This point, everyone clear? Only one point we discussed so far. Okay. See, you are creating common functionalities in framework and you are creating specific in implementation. What is the advantage of this? Why are you doing all this? Why do you need to create all this? See, coming to the document. So here is what application we discussed. Application is set of functionalities. Functionalities may be UI, functionalities may be related to database, functionalities may be related to business logic. It can be anything. And two different types of applications. What are those? Framework application, implementation application. And framework application is going to have common functionalities. Implementation application is going to have specific functionality. If you look at the diagram, the bottom one is core insurance framework, on top of which we have vehicle insurance and we have health insurance. Vehicle insurance is one implementation, health insurance is another implementation. The bottom one is framework. Remember this. The bottom framework application functionalities will be accessible to implementations. Okay, this point is additional one. Any functionalities that we create in framework will be accessible to implementation, but not vice versa. This is inheritance concept. I'll tell you later. Okay, but as of now, just try to understand only from the diagram. Bottom anything is there. I mean, like bottom in the sense in this diagram. In this diagram, framework functionalities will be accessible to implementations, but not vice versa. Okay, and here you go. See, there are some functionalities. See here, customer form, address form, generic email functionality, business logic, payment gateway. See, any type of insurance product you are purchasing, you can use the same payment gateway, correct? So that means payment gateway you place in framework, which will be accessible to all implementations. Which will be accessible to all different implementations. Like that, all these are common functionalities which are being placed in framework, can be accessible into implementation will come here and take this. Okay, so next one. So here you go now. So what is the advantage? Why you go for this type of structure? Let me tell you. See, specific functionalities like vehicle details and can be created in vehicle insurance, health related information. If I want to create one screen to collect health related information, that is related to only health insurance, but not vehicle. Means that is becoming specific, right? So we'll be creating that in implementation. If I am creating one screen to collect the data about the vehicle, then that is only related to vehicle insurance. That we create in vehicle insurance implementation. So you are going to create like this, identifying whether it is specific or common. What is the advantage? Okay, you are creating all this. What are the advantages? Let me tell you. See here, tomorrow, if I am going to extend my business, I wanted to introduce, let's say for example, health insurance and auto insurance is there, like life insurance I want to introduce. I'm extending my business to provide the customers with life insurance. This LOB I am going to add. That is going to be a new implementation. In that case, we don't need to do everything from the scratch. Means, again, you don't need to create a functional component for collecting customer data. Payment gateway screen, you don't need to create again. Address collecting, billing and shipping address collection form, you don't need to create again. All these need not to be created again because these are already available in the framework. While you are extending your business, okay, you don't need to recreate the things from scratch. Once again, already some common features are available in framework. You are taking that framework and you are creating your implementation additionally. So this saves the time. It is going to save the time. No need to redundantly create everything again and again. Once you create, access it multiple times, multiple places. No need to redundantly do it. You are reusing one functional component. You are using into implementation 1, implementation 2, implementation 3. Reusability, and most importantly, you can easily extend your business. You can extend your business without recreating the things from the scratch. Ease of extension of your business. So the advantages of creating like this: reusability of features. You create once, use it in implementation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything that another implementation gets created in future also can use it. And easy to maintain means you don't need to make changes multiple places. One place of framework, if you make changes, that will reflect into all implementation. If you are making changes in framework, because it is a common place, right? You change here, everywhere it will be reflected. Okay. Easy to extend the business processes. So whatever the business process that you're going to add, it can be easily extended. You don't need to do the things from the scratch. This is the advantage of creating framework application and implementation application structure. Is it mandatory to create? When I say no, not mandatory, but everywhere in this Pega world, you see, for every business application that you're going to work on, framework will be there. Considering that tomorrow in the sense, in future, if you are enhancing, there should not be a struggle. That is the reason why it is going to have framework application and implementation application architecture. Everyone clear online? Online, everyone clear? So far, everyone clear?
Yes.
See, one
Yes.
should be able to see my screen and able to hear me. If my voice is not audible, reconnect, please.
Yes, we see. Yes, we see.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. And this is the advantage. Okay, so we are going to practically work on creating these two types of structures of application. But before we get into that, let's look at Pega. Pega rules process commander environment. This is Pega rules process commander environment, right? This environment is provided for application development. What is it provided for? Application development. What is the advantage of using the Pega product? The advantage is, I already told on day 1, day 2, if you have missed, watch the videos in our YouTube channel, which we have shared. And today also we will share all those 4 links plus one more link, 5th link. Okay. But maybe probably day after tomorrow onwards, you will not be shared. We will create a drive and specifically share only to the people who join the training program. Okay. Now coming back to this one. See, Pega rules process command environment is a provision given by Pega systems using which you develop application. What is the advantage? No coding. Means UI don't code, business logic you don't code, database you don't code. Is that the only advantage? No. There are additional advantages. There are so many generic functional components, ready-made, created and available. Ready-made, created and available. I have shown you on day 1. Once again, I am going to show you, because this you can easily understand. That's why I'm accessing every time. I wanted to implement to create one business logic functionality to integrate my application with a mail server, email server. Usually I need to write the business logic coding if I'm using Java, .NET or anything, correct? But in Pega, I don't need to do it, because that type of functional component is already provided by Pega. Because this is very common thing. You are creating Amazon application, this is required. You are creating a loan processing application, this is required. You are creating insurance application, this is required. You are creating bank account creation application, it is required. Every time when you complete your transaction, an email is required to be sent to the customer. There are some generic functional components like this. Not only this, n number, many are there. Pega identified so many functional components like this, and they provided creating those functional components within this environment. Means this feature is ready-made available in the system. Everyone clear? What is meant by ready-made? Already it is present. You don't need to do it from the scratch. See, we can prepare food by ourselves from the scratch, or you can order in Zomato. Correct? What is the difference? You don't need to do the task. It's ready-made available for you. You can have the dress stitching for yourself by purchasing a cloth. Another approach is you can go to the respective garment shop and just buy that ready-made dress. Okay. So these are ready-made products, means already available in the system, created and ready to use, provided within the system. Understand? This is one functional component which is ready-made available in PRPC. Okay, now let's come back to framework application definition. Framework application contains common functionalities which we can use into different business lines of business like that, correct? That's why we call it as framework application. Now coming to Pega rules process commander environment. Pega rules process commander environment is also, it contains functionalities, correct? Yes or no? This is one functionality, functional component. Like this, there are n number we can see. Functionalities will be there inside application. That is what the definition we have discussed. If a functionality is there inside Pega platform, which means Pega platform, can I say it is also one application? Because it contains functionalities, yes or no? Pega platform as an application contains functionalities. Pega platform contains functionalities. Can I say Pega platform is application, yes or no? Pega platform is one application. That's why you access Pega platform using one URL. It's a deployed application. Okay, on which server? Tomcat server. The running status you can see here on command prompt. So Pega platform is an application created with some built-in or ready-made functionalities provided, using which you develop your application without the need of coding. You don't need to, even in the no coding also, you don't need to start from the scratch. Already functional components available, use it. If not available, implement by no coding. Not available, implement by no coding. So two advantages are there now. What is that? No coding is one advantage. Even within the no coding also, no need to create the functional components from the scratch, already available. Okay, you can make use of it. Not in all situations. Some will be available. Some you may have to create without coding. Okay. So like this, Pega platform is also an application. That's why Pega has provided a default login. What is the default login? Administrator. Using administrator@pega.com and password install, we can log into Pega platform application. Pega platform application. You can call Pega as a tool because it is a BPM methodology. You call Pega as a framework. You call Pega as an application. What is the name of the application when I log in? Pega platform. Application name also Pega platform. So Pega rules process commander environment, instead of simply saying a tool, you can say this is an application provided with some built-in functionalities. Okay. What is the name of the application? Pega platform. Everyone clear? These functionalities can be used to develop any type of business application. Not only banking, not only insurance, not only retail, any different sector of the business application you want to develop, you can use Pega platform as a common one. Okay. Whenever you're going to use it now, Pega platform contains common functionalities which can be used in any business application. Correct? From this point, I can say Pega platform is a framework application, yes or no? So what is the final conclusion that we have come to? Pega rules process commander environment is a framework application which contains some common functionalities which can be used in any business sector. Which can be used in any business sector. Everyone clear about this? I will tell you one specific term that we use in Pega rules process commander environment. OOTB. What is the term? OOTB. Abbreviation is out of the box. What is the abbreviation? Out of the box. You will be using this terminology regularly in enterprise. I already told you what is meant by built-in or predefined, or in easy sentence, it is ready-made. What is that you call? Ready-made. What is meant by ready-made? If I say ready-made, or if I say predefined, if I say built-in, all meaning same. Means provided within the system. The same we use some other terminology in Pega. What is the terminology? Out of the box. If I say some ready-made functional component is available in Pega, we call it as OOTB functional component. What do we call it? OOTB. OOTB stands for out of the box, which means already provided within PRPC system. Already provided within PRPC system. Everyone clear? Makes sense online? This term you need to know. You will get to use it going forward. Okay. One more final point I have to tell you before we get into practical. Okay. There are just 5 more minutes to get into practical. See here.
Quick question. Do you
Yes,
have
go
a
ahead.
out of box? Any example for out of box, please?
This is what I told you. Send email notification functional component is out of the box functional component. What is it? Send email notification. See, the term may look something different, out of the box, but it is inside the system. Okay, you will come to know about why out of the box later. Okay, maybe some of you might be aware if you have watched our YouTube channel, but you will be knowing about it. Okay, if I say out of the box, that means which is present inside Pega product. Okay, send email notification is what? Out of the box functional component provided by Pega systems within PRPC tool. See, this is application name, right? Pega platform. Click on this and go to definition. Go to definition. Here you see ID. Okay, you are a student here. In this particular system, you are a student. You have a name. We will be assigning you IDs after few days, correct? ID and name. A student in a system of college, whatever it is, academy, have ID plus name. Which one is priority for a system to identify a student? Name or ID? ID, right? See, in a system, for every component, there will be name, there will be ID. Two things will be there. Name is a label kind of thing, display purpose. ID is the actual name which will be identified by the system. What is the name of the application? I told Pega platform. But what is the actual name? Pega rules is the name of the application. Display name is Pega platform. They are using like that. For everything we create going forward, we'll have two things. What are those? ID and name. Display name is just for display. You change it, you want, you change it, no problem. ID can never be modified. Name can have spaces. ID do not have any spaces in it. Okay, your ID is a single string without any spaces. Name, you can have spaces, no problem. Okay, just for your information. So what are we going to see now? We are going to see, we will not be able to complete or finish two applications today. We will see how to create framework application. You are going to learn about navigations. You're going to learn about navigation. What are the navigations that you are going to follow in order to create one application by structure or type called as framework? That I will give you. But before that, when you are creating some application, you need to know about basic parameters. You need to provide basic parameters. You can guess what is it? Application. So when you're creating application, you should tell the process commander what is the name of the application that you want to create. And next what? Application structure. What is that? What do you call it? Structure means type. What type of application you want to create? Framework or implement it. We will be using one wizard to create application. Going through the wizard, it will ask you what is the name of application? What is the structure of the application that you want to create? Next, I created my application. How do I access my application? Do I need a login ID and password? So what is the operator ID? Yesterday I told. I did not tell anything technical. Simple term. Login ID is equal to operator ID. The terminology in Pega is what? Operator ID. Operator ID comma password. You need to generate. What do you need to generate? You need to provide operator ID. It will generate one password for us. Okay. Completed. One more important thing is there. Organization name. What is that? I will tell you this, okay, in detail later, but let me tell you in simple terminology now. You know about it. Organization means, what do you mean by organization? It's a company. You are aware of it, right? But I'll tell you in a different, in a more specific way. Organization is topmost business entity. What is it? Topmost business entity. I'll tell you example. You have Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Steel, Tata Motors, Tata Telecommunication, okay, Tata Retail, Tata Healthcare. These are all different companies, right? But for all these, on top list, there is something called Tata Group of Industries, right? That is what organization. Reliance Industries is organization. Reliance Jio is one company related to telecom. Okay, Reliance Petroleum is one company related to the petrol chemicals and all. Okay, similarly, they have so many like this. Reliance Retail is there, okay, into retail market. Okay, like this, there are so many things available. Okay, so but for all of these, what is the topmost business entity? Reliance Industries. This is called as organization is the topmost business entity. To which business entity that this application belongs to, that also we need to create. See, the business application that you are going to create in Pega is also going to have login IDs and passwords. Who will have a login ID and password? Employees, correct? See, I told you on day 2. What did I tell? Pega is used for developing mainly internal business processing application which are accessible to employees of the organization. You are creating one application, operator ID and password means you are creating one login ID for one employee. If you are an employee in a company, you belong to one organization. In your organization, there will be certain structural design. You might be working in some specific region or division within your organization, correct? We will be discussing about organization, division, unit later in the next class. But for now, we are going to use the term called organization name while we are creating application. Okay. So what are you going to learn now by creating new application? As of today, for next 20 minutes, you are just going to learn about navigations. During this navigations, you have 4 parameters to be provided mainly. Name of the application, type of the application, login ID, password will be generated, and name of the organization. These 4 you know at the high level. Okay, pretty much fair enough. So I am going to now create one practical document with screenshots, which will be provided to you today after some time. Okay, working with. Okay, I'll write down like this: creating new framework application. What is that we are going to create? A new framework application we are going to create. Okay, so create a framework application for processing insurance policies. For processing what? Insurance policies. So we are going to work on an insurance project in the class, okay, which is specifically auto insurance, generically insurance. Okay, and apart from this, parallelly, you need to start working on car rental application or maybe personal loan application, anything, personal loan originating system, anything is okay. After these 2, you'll be working on 2 more when you are there in the further at the end of the training, post training. Okay, so design. What are the steps I need to follow? Okay, let me create this document for your batch. Yours is 602. The document will have a name like this. Okay. What is this? Yours is 7 a.m., right? 7 a.m. batch. What is today's date? 01. Let's say Jan.
9, sir.
I'm sorry. 01 is month. 09 Jan 2023. Anytime if you have missed a session, then this document is going to tell you a specific date. Okay. So here you go with design. So to create a new application, any type of application, to create a new application, we can use application wizard, new application wizard. What is the wizard? New application wizard we have to use. So while creating application, below are the 4 parameters we need to consider to provide. Okay, what are those 4? Whether it is implementation or framework, these 4 will be there for sure. Okay, these are the 4 things. Okay, so now let's log into Pega using default credentials. What are those default credentials? What are those default credentials? Administrator@pega.com, and what is password? Install. See, all lowercase. Password is install all lowercase. Okay, next one. So let's log in now. Okay, you are going to log in like this. Just wait. It will take you to Pega platform application, which contains all built-in functionalities. Okay, I will explain you a little bit more tomorrow, but for today we will see how to create this. See, I told you application can be created by using new application wizard, correct? That you can access from this application menu. This is called as application menu. What about remaining options that are available in this environment? You will be learning at the time while we are going to use it. No need to discuss about all of these on the same day. At the time when you are going to learn, now you are learning about application menu. Same way, the other things you are going to learn. So application, new application. Okay. So use that wizard. So I'll write down here. Click on Pega platform. Application menu shows what? New application. So when you choose this, you will be getting this new application wizard. So I will explain you what is built from scratch. Tomorrow I will explain you, but for today you follow this. Okay, let me close this document. So click on build from scratch. Click on build from scratch. Okay, let me click on this build from scratch. See, there are two types here, Cosmos React and Team Cosmos. Cosmos React and Team Cosmos. Give me 1 minute. See, Cosmos React is very new development starting from 8.7. కిందకెళ్ళి జిమ్ వాళ్ళకి చెప్పు. Cosmos React means it is a pretty new product. There are so many issues in 8.7. We are not going to use it now because we already tried for one batch. Too many issues. Okay, better to go with next version to use Cosmos React because React is first version provided here. We will go with the traditional one, and anyhow you will not see that Cosmos React much being used as of today. Okay, and here you go now. So when you go with the first one, Team Cosmos Traditional, it is going to ask you, name your application. Mine is, let's take some client name, any client name, any company name. In India or US, anywhere you can take. Some easy to remember name. Let's say Mercury application. Okay, otherwise let's take Mercury application. Okay, what is that? Mercury Insurance. Mercury Insurance. So I've taken as Mercury Insurance Group. Okay, you can say Mercury Insurance Group, no problem. Okay, see, you don't click on create application, just click on advanced configuration. Click on advanced configuration. Okay, when you click on advanced configuration, see here, by default, what is there? By default, application structure is implementation, but I don't want to create implementation. What I want to create? Change application structure to framework. What is that? FW stands for framework. Okay, I'm changing the application structure to framework. Okay, suppose without clicking on advanced configuration, if I have proceeded forward, what type of application would have been created? Implementation. So I don't want to do that. I want to make it framework. That's why I came back. Now you see a random name has been generated for organization, which is not meaningful. A random name generated for organization, which is not meaningful. Let's change it to meaningful. Okay, I will remove this random name for organization and I will create, what is that? Mercury. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 characters I have given. This is the name of the organization, but there will be ID. Now you see here, once I enter this and tab out, below you got MERC. This is the actual name, ID. Organization name, the ID contains 4 characters. After that, 5th character, suppose you want to give 6th character, 7th character also I am typing. It is not allowing. What is the maximum length of an organization name? Not a display name. The ID value is 6 max, but mostly you'll see 4 characters being used. By default, it will generate. Remaining parameters, I know I did not talk about those parameters. You'll be learning in the next classes. So click on save. See, coming to the advanced configuration, we have made 2 changes. One is we have chosen the application structure as framework, and the second one is organization name as MERC. Save this, and you will be back to the screen like this. Click on create application. What is that you are going to do now? Create application. I'm going to do what? Create application. Means this application will get created. For you guys, if this is the first time you are doing in your laptop, it may take even 5 minutes sometimes. For me, it will take 2 to 3 minutes max, maybe max. Sometimes it may take even 10 minutes also for you. Okay. For the first time when you are accessing Pega rules process command environment for first 1 week, it will be slow. Till the cache gets created. After the cache is created, it will be faster. But your system should be as usual speed, how it was before. Okay. Even though you have 16 GB RAM, it may be slow for first 1 week. Completed, application got created. What is created? Application got created and asking to provide a login to be created. Login to be created. So you see here, the login ID like email address. I am providing like this thing. I want to create, because I am a developer, I am learning Pega rules process command as a developer. I am creating one developer operator ID for my framework application @merc.com, means organizationname.com. Okay. It is not mandatory that you have to give devfw @ something. You write anything is okay. I have meaningfully written for my better understanding devfw @ merc.com. Suppose if you join real-time project, what will be the ID of yours to log into Pega and work as a developer? See, you are joining TCS. You will be given one employee ID, correct? TCS will allocate one project to you. Let's say Mercury client. Mercury client will give you one machine, VPN machine. What is that? VPN machine. You will not work in TCS network. You will work in client network. Virtual machine they will provide you. That machine will have a login ID. That will be provided by Mercury company. Mercury company login ID will be your login ID. For Pega also, we will use the same usually to identify easily who is the developer. It will not be this format, but here we are creating. See, Cosmos author means developer only. Author means what? Developer. Click on add. Click on add. So click on add. Password will get generated now. Okay, I clicked on add. Just wait a while. Okay, password got generated. Copy this username and password into Notepad. Copy this username and password into Notepad. I will copy this because I need it. Okay, later time.
Sir, one question here.
Yes, please.
See, in the projects,
As for a developer, this operator ID is given by admin, right? So does it mean admin will create this framework application and give it to us so that we can develop it further?
Admins will not do this task. The task of creating application will be done by our tech leads along with business analyst, sitting along with business analyst.
Okay.
And go to operator menu and log off. What is that you are going to do? Operator menu and do what? Log on. Now can I log into our application? I'm sorry, let me close this theory document. Now what am I going to do? Now log into FW application, Mercury FW. I have user ID and password. You may forget this random number, random generated password. That's the reason why I copied into a notepad. Okay, username, and what is the password here? That is randomly generated. This is the password. We need it multiple times. That's why I copied it into notepad. Otherwise, we'll not be able to do further. Okay, so here you go. Login. Login. Don't save as of now. See, for the first time when you try to log in, it is going to ask you to change the password. I told you, right? This is a random password you cannot remember. This is a random password which you cannot remember. That is the reason why I copied it into notepad. I'm giving the password as rules. My own password as rules. I can easily remember the password rules. I can easily remember the password rules when I go through it. Okay. By default, it will take you to App Studio, but you don't know what about these studios and all. You will be learning in the further classes. What happened? Just need to wait for a while to get it loaded. Now from here, you need to switch to Dev Studio. I'll tell you about these studios and all. But for now, as of now, you don't need to do anything. Just log off from here. What are you going to do? Just to check whether it is been done or not. Okay, just you need to log in once and change the password of your wish. Make sure you remember that password. And today, I will share you this document. Following this document, will you be able to do it or not? One thing. Theory document I have shown you, right? That is second document. Third document is, for example, you forgot that random password to store, or maybe after giving password here, after changing, you forgot. How to change the password of an operator ID. You don't need any technical knowledge for that. One more document you will receive in some time, after some time. Anytime if you forget the password of an operator ID, go there and change the password. For changing password, you don't need to remember about old password. Okay. So this is what for today, and we will continue tomorrow, same time. Tomorrow we are going to learn about what is being created after you create this application and where is it being created. And after that, working with creating implementation application. Creating what? Implementation. Once implementation is also created, the next point we are going to focus on understanding the relation between framework and implementation, where it is being defined. We need to look back to understand where is this framework and implementation application relation is being defined. So tomorrow we are going to focus on understanding about what is being created after this framework and how to create implementation application on top of this framework application, and overall what is the structure we got, and further where is the relation defined. This is framework, this is implementation, this implementation is related to this framework. All these relations to be defined somewhere, right? Where is it exactly being defined? All that we are going to dig around and know about that particular relations. Okay, that and all will take 1 hour tomorrow. That is what we are going to focus on tomorrow. Everyone clear today?
Yeah. Sir, one quick question, sir.
Go ahead.
So for Mac users, you said some suggestion, right, to access a Windows environment. So
Yes,
what was?
okay. If you have Mac operating system, You need to install Windows virtual machine on Mac, and on the Windows virtual machine you have to install Pega. Clear, everyone?
Okay.
Next, for any one of you, if your server is too slow, check these things. 8 GB RAM minimum is must. For 1 week it will be little slow, and next it will be going to speed up. And further, if you are using hard disk, definitely it will be somewhat slower than SSD. You may replace your hard disk with SSD. That replaced hard disk will be there with you, right? You may use it as external hard disk. Okay, you don't need to give it to that person. Okay. So you can wind up for today. You'll be receiving these documents in same like WhatsApp only. For tomorrow also you'll receive on WhatsApp. From day after tomorrow you'll receive on email, because we will wind up the batch. That time forming the batch will be winding up by day after tomorrow. Okay, everyone clear? We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.